Can you hear me? Yeah. Cool. So thank you for coming. I apologize in advance because it's difficult to explain Electron security in only 15 minutes. So if somebody wants, there's like a long workshop, like 1 hour and a half, that if you go to 70security.com/free, you can get it for free there. So I'm Abraham Aranguren, and I don't know, that's about me, but basically I'm the CEO of 70 Security, and yeah, and I was doing the training for the mobile course for SecT this year. So I'm going to talk about Electron security and a very specific case with a lack of context isolation, where we're going to get remote code execution in Windows without warnings, attacking preload scripts, right? So for those who might not be familiar, Electron applications are written in JavaScript, and this is very cool for developing purposes because you only have to pay JavaScript developers and you get an application working on Windows, Linux, and Mac. And you don't have to pay like 3 development departments. You only have to pay 1, right? So that's always useful. Now this is part of a workshop that we do for free. So if somebody gets the free workshop, there's the vulnerable application that I'm going to demo today is also available for free. So in Electron, there's a concept of context isolation, right? So if you get XSS on an Electron application, then let's say you have an XSS, right? So you try to do alert window ABC, right? So if there's no context isolation, you will be able to read variables defined on the preload script, right? So this would be the case without context isolation. And when there is context isolation, then this is not possible, right? So when context isolation is enabled, this is better for security. Now, since I'm going to try a live demo, I'm going to start booting the VM, which will take a little bit. So in the demo that I'm going to show, there's a preload script, and it's using the index of function, right? So what we can do when there is no context isolation is we can redefine this function in JavaScript to return something else, right? So when there is a JavaScript piece of code that is running the index of function, instead of running as normally it would in JavaScript, it will return whatever we want, right? So here we are redefining it to always return lead, so we can bypass a security check. So this will make more sense in the demo. When the demo defines safe protocols for HTTP and HTTPS, so this is actually correct. These are links that are safe to open in Electron applications. And then we will send a message, and this link will be linkified. But when the user clicks on it, using this XSS, we will be able to attack this, right? So this is the security check. So when you click on it, it says this link is unsafe. But we will bypass this by redefining the index of function, right? So with this XSS, we redefine the index of function to always return this. So this will bypass the security check. So we will get code execution without warnings in Windows, right? So let me try to do the demo. Let's see if this worked. Can you see this? Is it readable enough? Yes. So this is the vulnerable application. I'm going to delete this. And basically, I think it will make more sense if I show you first the safe protocol. So I'm going to do the same thing as the application, right? So I go here to the developer tools console. So if I paste this, and now, let me see, because I think I had it here. Yes, so if I do this, and now, this mic, I prefer wireless mics, but give me a second. So, whoops. Okay, so If I try to do safe protocols index of HTTP, it says 0. If I do HTTPS, it says 1, right? Because the array that is defining the safe protocols starts with 0, and then it's number 1, right? And then if I try to do it with file, then this will show -1, right? So that is what the logic of the application is, right? So it's saying index of file -1. So the code is here, is saying when the index of returns different than -1, then it will do shell open external. So if I send this message saying, hey, look at this, with a file URL pointing to a Java file on a network location, right, which is insecure to open because it will give us a remote code execution without warning on Windows, we get this link is unsafe, right? So the security check is working, but if I send the same message with the XSS that is redefining the index of function, so if I go here and I paste this, right? So I'm basically simulating a chat application where you send a message to another user, right? So we're just sending a message to ourselves for simplicity, but it's basically just sending a message, the application linkifies the link, and then we have an XSS, right? The XSS is redefining the index of function. So I send the message. Now you can see the broken image, there's an XSS. So if I now click on the link, you can see the JavaScript executed, so we have code execution without warnings on Windows, which is true code execution, right? So the user didn't have to click any warnings, so that's the end of the presentation. I'm not sure if we have time for questions, but you can ask me later or whatever, and you can get the full workshop for free there if you want to. So that's it.